neon lights, we take a stand. Knights and wizards across the land.
Daggerheart. Daggerheart, 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 Daggerheart. Daggerheart, come and me want to stop singing the stupid song. It's that blemish that will never go away. It's Daggerheart. I have been told I need to look at the combat system before I set this monster to bed, because I've also been told I need to give Horde Wars another look, and I've got a whole stack of other games I need to look at. So, but I have definitely been told you need to look at the combat section. So we already saw that it took 40 minutes to make a character, and we still weren't finished with the character. I still don't know, but maybe my character wants to buy a backpack. Where's the equipment section? Oh, there doesn't seem to be anyone. So I've been told to do this specifically looking at initiative. So we're looking at the faith and hope thing, you know, hope with fear, failure with hope, failure with fear, and then trying to determine that what that means, you know, success with hope. Okay, yeah, natural 20, yeah. Success with fear. Well, we survived, but failure with hope. Okay, things look bad, but there's a chance we could turn it around. And failure with fear. Yep, you're dead, Jim. I'm sorry. There's no cure for being eaten by a tiger. So yes, where is initiative? Initiative was the first thing I was told to look at. All right, so initiative. Experience impacts fiction. Critical success, making moves. Roll with fear on an action. Do something that would have consequences to give you the golden opportunity. Initiative. Where's initiative? Initiative. Player-driven moves. Social moves. Avoid undermining success. Softer and harder moves. Okay. GM moves. Ask a question. Determine the goals. How about who goes first? Signal an intimate office screen threat. Okay. Where's initiative? Blah, 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 blah. Funny how, you know, say all you want about 5th edition or the paramutations of 5th edition. This whole 10 pages we've seen so far were erased by one paragraph. Advantage, disadvantage. I don't need all this other crap. I just either give you advantage or disadvantage. Spending fear and how it's unfair mechanic. Double D postulated that, you know, after a while you'd get just so exhausted and it's so much unnecessary work for the hope fear mechanic, especially since it's the hope fear mechanic is broken. The players will always have more hope than the DM could ever have fear. The game is designed to not allow the DM to win. But okay, yes, setting difficulty. Okay. Yeah, that's all I need. I need one page, not even one page. Difficulty task advisors, examples, you know, so 5 or better, 7 or better, 12 or better, blah, blah, blah. And then an example, you know, here's some example difficulties. Okay, here we go. Examples. Okay, I still don't know where initiative is. Adversary rolls, adversary attack rolls. Roll the dice. Resolve the situation. Class hope features. Okay, Jesus, fuck, we're like 20 pages in. Chase rules. Oh, I don't have chase rules. Nobody can get chase rules in D&D's right. Gear. Choosing. Okay. Where is initiative? I was told to look at initiative. Maybe that was the joke. There is no initiative. And I was told to look at combat. Okay. There's a lot of words here. As opposed to, let's say, the other game we have loaded up and save, SHADOWDARK, where it's the entire combat system is pretty much 2 pages. Okay. GM best practices, blah, blah, blah. How about initiative? Calculate the attack roll. Roll a d20 and add the adversary's attack bonus. Okay, so your d12 system, but you also use d20s because you have to be comfortable enough for the 5e players to be able to. Then you shouldn't even have been the d12, dude. I mean, you know, D20 is what everybody knows. D20 is what you're famous for. D20 is much easier to get. Your target audience is orphans of 5e who want to follow you because of your charisma, which is the only thing that makes this system even workable, is the charisma and willpower of the cast. It'll be interesting to watch people who the system, just try and play this, who aren't the Critical Role guys, who don't understand it. Okay, so who goes first? See, I mean, in Horde Wars, Blackwall explained how a D12 works better. And the math, the bell curve as opposed to the D12 or 2D6 or whatever. But they chose D12 instead of 2D6 because they didn't want to make it too obvious they were robbing from Powered by the Apocalypse. Okay. You notice what I'm still not seeing is who goes first. Where are the surprise rolls? Initiative should be first. Surprise, then initiative. What can I do on my turn? Attack, move, activate a thingy, spend hope. DM spends fear. How often do I get to spend hope? How often does the DM get to spend fear? Not as many times as you get to spend hope, because again, the system's designed for the players to win. Okay, success with hope, success with fear, failure with hope, failure with fear, obvious moves. I just want to stab somebody with my spear. I am just a kid with a spear defending the wall. Where is the rules for that? Calculate my attack roll. I'm going to roll a d20 and add my attack bonus of 0 because I'm first level. Then I'm going to return if the attack hits. If that meets or beats the evasion, the attack succeeds and hits the target. Otherwise, it fails. Okay, I succeeded. Sure. And I roll my damage. We don't know what the damage was. Let's say it's a spear, D6. All right. Who goes first? Three, 4, 5. I'm not even sure if this is the combat section. There just seems to be hodgepodge. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 pages of a very vague combat system that breaks down to what we all know. Difficulty modifier for non-combat related scenarios. And then combat related scenario is roll to hit versus evasion. Succeed, you take damage. Don't succeed, move on. What's the other? Can I do 1 action in combat? 2 action in combat? 5 actions in combat? Can I do as many actions as I have hope? I don't know. It's not a rule set. It's more just rule ideas all around this hope and fear mechanic, because we want to make exemplary storytelling. If you want to be a human kid with a spear in this world, you're kind of screwed. But don't worry, because the system is still geared towards you, the player, to be able to get more chances to roll hope than the DM will ever get to roll fear, because you have hope with fear, fear with hope. And then all the DM has is fear with fear and fear with hope with fear. So I think that 3 to 2, plus with all the bonuses, I think it works out basically 75 to 25. 25% chance you're going to get hope versus the 25% chance that the DM is going to get enough fear to help his bad guys. Plus, of course, player characters get advantages that NPCs don't. Now, just to compare combat systems, to go to the other game I happen to have in my document file right now, besides Horde Wars. That's just blah, 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 blah. Now let's just compare it to another game. Let's just compare it to our baby. Blam. SHADOWDARK. All right, how many pages does LC dedicate to combat? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're not in order, which is weird, but okay. 4.5, 5. But the actual combat is 1, 2, 2. So let's give it 7. 2 of actual mechanics, and then the 7 to fill in the blanks for things like travel and stealth and magic and stuff. So 7 to, as opposed to, what was that, 20? Now going into here, I know exactly how combat works in this game. Determined surprise. Didn't see that. I'm going to use my fear tokens to get you guys are surprised. No, because I've got more hope tokens, so we're not surprised. Plus surprise is unfair. Initiative, turns, actions, damage, death. Bam. It's all you really need. Everything else is fluff, right? Break a combat down to its quickest, fastest elements, because otherwise combat becomes a mini game and becomes a slog. And apparently, according to Blackwell, the combat system in Horde works very fast. And SHADOWDARK's works pretty fast, but it's still clunky because it's still a D20 combat system. But still, 7 pages as opposed to 20 pages to tell me basically surprise, initiative, who goes first. Okay, do your thing. Then just go through the initiative. Initiative over. End of round mechanics. Anybody need to be stabilized? Any spells whose timers I need to worry about? Do I need to check for the torch? Do I need to check for wandering monsters? Is anybody doing anything weird? No. Okay, circle through. Initiative starts again. Blah, 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 blah. Watch, rinse, repeat until one side wins, right? Non-combat? What are you trying to do? All right, how difficult is that on a range of 1 through 20 or higher? Oh, you're trying to open a door. Oh, that's a 5. Oh, you're trying to open a locked door. Oh, that's a 10. Oh, you're trying to draw a magically locked door. Okay, that's a 15. Okay, you're trying to lock a magically locked door in the middle of a fight. Okay, that's 20. Okay, you're trying to unlock a magically locked door in a fight underwater. All right, that's 30 in outer space. Okay, 40. I can still roll a natural 20. Right? Dice, difficulty modifier, bonus, done. That's all I need. And that's done. Kelsey's done that in 7 pages. Daggerheart did it in 20, and I'm still not sure who goes first. Now, so unless you want me to continue to look at Daggerheart, I don't know what else I could say. I'm not running it. I doubt I'd ever get invited to play it because I think I'd be a total asshole if I ever did. Because somebody said, hey, do you want to play Daggerheart? I'd be like, yeah, I want to play a kid with a spear who's guarding his village because the barbarians are coming. He's got a spear, a dagger, a leather armor. He's wearing a helmet that might have been a pot that his mother gave him. Got a backpack. If he's lucky, he's got some rope. There's my character. Oh, what about your hope and your fear? And I don't care about. I'm a first level fighter. Maybe I'll become a cleric if I'm really lucky, but no, I'm a 0 level fighter. Let's go. So, considering my sarcastic assholiness, I doubt I'd ever get to play Daggerheart. And then if I did get to play it, I'd be constantly worried that I'd lose the card. So I was like, I'd be making fake cards. Hey, can I just get a stack of 3x5 cards and just write what my cards are on there? Because I don't want to risk losing them. And I'm only ever going to use these 3, right? So, and I need tokens too. Great. Let me buy a thing of M&Ms. They're my fucking tokens. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I wouldn't actively go looking. I'd rather play 5e before I play Daggerheart. And then there's a whole other list of games I'd rather play before I played 5e. I'd rather play Horde Wars or ShadowDark before I played 5e. I'd rather play Castles and Crusades before I played 5e. I'd rather play Pathfinder First Edition before I played 5e. New 5e, old 5e, I still like it, but there are definitely games I'd rather play. But if somebody said you could play Villains and Vigilantes or you could play Daggerheart, I'd be like, well, where's the line for Villains and Vigilantes? Where's the line for any game plus but Daggerheart? Because Daggerheart isn't a game. All right. I mean, I could say that for everything. It's not a game. Daggerheart is just a quilt of various memes and things that were cobbled together from other systems that has a few okay points, but basically Daggerheart relies on the charisma of the people playing it. It relies on the charisma of Mercer and company, and it relies on the fickle loyalty of the fan base. Right now, Daggerheart's the greatest game in the world because the fan base loves it. Doesn't matter whether they've actually played it or not. They just love that it's Daggerheart. All right. Well, I mean, will that love continue after this weekend when Casimir drops and whatever comes out of San Diego Comic-Con? Or will the fan base go, well, your Daggerheart game was good, but look, Brandon Sanderson is better. And while your Kickstarter made X amount of money, he made 9 million. And he's wrote way more books than you. So I'm going to go check out his game because I'm a big fan of the books. I've watched Let's Plays. I've listened to various reviews from both, the people who you expect to give it a good review, like Bob Worldbuilder and Jeannie D, and the people who you expect to give it a fair review, like Double D and others. And my review is, it's probably great for kids. It's probably good for people who understand the mechanics and understand what it is. There is an audience. But if I'm going to go through it and look at all the things I like about it, I can go, well, actually, I find all these things in X, and that's cheaper. Well, I find all these things in this game. That game's cheaper. All the things that you really, really like in Daggerheart are basically taken from Blades in the Dark, which was taken from Powered by the Apocalypse, which was taken from. So really, we're just saying, hey, Powered by the Apocalypse was a much better system than it ever really thought it was. And with a little extra love, it could have been great. If I want a storytelling system, I'll play Vampire the Masquerade. I'll play a system that actually is designed to tell a story around. If I want a loose, diceless system, there are better systems to do that. If I want a chunky, wargamey, 5e, grim and gritty OSR, there's games that do that. If I just want a quick beer and pretzel game, make a character in 3 minutes, go, there are games that do the exact same thing better for less money. You've got several hundred systems at any given time, including mine and Horde Wars and ShadowDark. It's just how much money do you want to pay? How deeply do you want to get into it? What does Daggerheart do that you can't find anywhere else cheaper? What does Daggerheart do that you don't already have? And if the answer is, well, the cards, dude, you have cards. If you don't have cards, go to the 99-cent store, get a pack of 3x5 cards, get a deck of cards. You have cards. Well, it doesn't have Hope and Fear. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It's either got bennies or hero points or advantage or disadvantage or inspiration or something, but there's a lot of system that has Hope and Fear. Well, it doesn't have, yes, everything is in Daggerheart somewhere else, and as good as better. And since the challenge 19 minutes ago was to find how initiative works, and I couldn't, I'm either really, really stupid or the system is stupid. Anyways, that's the last thing I have to say about Daggerheart, at least this week. Do you want me to keep going into the system? I will, but otherwise I've got Horde Wars I have to go through again because DM Blackwell asked me to. Blackwall. I've got all the games I bought from the sale that we need to review. I've got my own games that I'm working on and want to start play testing. So yeah, if there's an audience for me to take apart Daggerheart one more time, please let me know. Otherwise, this is the last we'll ever see of it, at least until something newsworthy comes on, because I'm not going to deny you the song. Because really, that's why you come here, right? Daggerheart. Daggerheart. Daggerheart, command me one to go home.
Monsters lurking in the night. Heroes ready for the fight. Dice are clattering on the wood. Storylines misunderstood.